got a response to my video last week that really got me thinking. Last week I talked about how my whole perspective has changed as far as where I see truth, or how I know what's true, and how back when I was a summer missionary in Ashland, Oregon, I just thought it was all Bible. And then, being back there 43 years later, I just so aware that all of that was man-made, and that the thing that was so liberating was just learning to use my own eyes to trust myself. And anyway, not repeat the whole thing here, but what the person said is, man, I wish I had heard that message from the pulpit when I was 30 years old, a long time ago, back at River Valley Christian Fellowship, which is the church that I pastored. And he said it would have made a huge difference. It would have helped me not to make one of the biggest mistakes of my life. And I gotta say that really hit me. That kind of hurt, because I look back at that, and I know I wasn't urging people to follow their own hearts or to listen to their own voice or use their own eyes. I was urging them to follow the church dogma. And I hurt people. And I had to really sit with that and own that. Obviously, there was no malicious intent in that, but it was still destructive. And it's not really true to say that I didn't know what I was doing, because I did know. I felt it. I knew that there were times when we were doing things and manipulating and holding up the rigid rules, the way we understood it, of the Bible, in the name of, following God and all of that, holding up the dogma in a way that was destructive to people. But the way I saw it back then is that, the Bible was the truth. And so you don't mess with the Bible, right? If you feel something, that really doesn't matter, because what matters is what the Bible says, and how you feel about it is kind of irrelevant. So, that's just the way I looked at things back then. But I felt that friction. I knew, even as I was doing it, that this is just wrong. So I can't say I didn't know. I felt the friction. I just drowned out my own heart and voice. Now, I know on this channel I've said a lot about how that has damaged me, or caused me to go down wrong paths. But when I read that post, I realized, wow, I damaged a lot of other people too. I led others, and of course I was saying, follow me as I follow Christ. It was all about following Jesus. That was the premise of the whole thing. But the truth was, it was follow the dogma. Don't listen to yourself. Don't open your eyes. Don't do what you know is right. Don't trust yourself. Believe the dogma. That's really kind of what I was saying. And I know also, I'm not just completely beating myself up, I know that there was a lot of good that happened in my church. I did a lot of good there. But, kind of early on, I realized that I wasn't, the good that was happening at church was not because of church. It was in spite of church. There were wonderful people there. There were wonderful people everywhere. But there were a lot of generous, good, kind people. And a lot of good that happened at River Valley Christian Fellowship. But the dogma was not wonderful, and the dogma was not good. And so, if you are one of those wonderful people, I would say, trust yourself. You can drop the dogma. it's you. It's not the church. It's not this, whatever particular interpretation of the Bible that you're holding up as the light of your path and the director of your ways and all this stuff that we say. It's you. It's you. It's always been you. And the goodness that happened at that church was not the Bible. It was the people. So, I would say, just, have you ever considered just like ditching it? Imagine being free from that, to just be yourself. And you say, well, I would be a horrible person. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. In fact, if you met me today, I doubt you would notice much difference between who I am right now and who I was back as a pastor. You wouldn't go like, wow, like his morals have really slidden, or he doesn't care about people anymore, and man, now he's a real jerk, or something like. You wouldn't notice any difference. The difference you would notice is I'm not spouting the Bible at you, and I'm not trying to save you, and I'm not trying to put you in a box anymore. And it's so liberating. Imagine being free to be yourself. And if you're a person whom I led astray, I just want you to know that this week, the weight of that hit me in a way that it never has before. And I want you to hear from the bottom of my heart, I am so sorry. And I hope you've learned from following me not to follow others, and that you are discovering how to follow yourself. Quoting Emerson again here, trust thyself. Every heart vibrates to that iron string. And that is the door to life beyond belief.